Welcome to the Audience Converter Podcast, the podcast for converting your audience from strangers to loyal fans. We dive deep and discuss how entrepreneurs, consultants, and coaches can level up their business to help more people in the world. Now here's your host, the creator of the Audience Conversion Method, Kimberly Weitkamp.
Are you a community leader who's looking to really build your community through the power of email? It's the first chance you have to get in front of the right people, and you should make the most of it. So many community leaders take the template approach, and you've lost your community before they've even found you. How about crafting the perfect welcome series instead? You can grab my guide, Crafting the Perfect Welcome Series, at theaudienceconverter.com/giveaway. Discover the tips and tactics I use to help my clients get up to an 80% open rate. When people open those first few emails, they're more likely to continue opening your messages, engaging, and buying from you. Build your community the right way with a welcome series that converts. Grab your copy at theaudienceconverter.com/giveaway. Welcome to the next episode of the Audience Converter Podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Weitkamp, a conversion copywriter and marketing strategist and creator of the Audience Conversion Method. Over the last few weeks, we have been talking about the strangers to loyal fans process. How do you convert your audience? How do you get the right people into your world so that you can bring them closer to you and have them become a part of your community? And then, of course, how do you convert them from strangers to loyal fans? And we've talked about a lot of different aspects of that process. We've talked about choosing the right gift or lead magnet, how to make sure that your landing page, i.e. where they show up and find out about you for the first time, how to make that high converting, what to send to people after they request the gift, and how to start building that know, like, and trust factor fairly quickly after they sign up to be a part of your community. So the next question, of course, is what comes next? All right, you've got people, they're on your list. Congratulations, they're on your list. They've started opening your messages, and now what happens next? For a lot of people, that is the big question. And today, what we're going to talk about a little bit is what is it that comes next? What do you do after you get people first onto your list? So one of the reasons I started the Audience Converter podcast is because I have this belief that building a business is a holistic approach. Oftentimes you'll see the gurus online who are talking all about one thing in particular. Maybe that's Facebook, maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's podcasting. It doesn't really matter what it is, but that's the only thing that they focus on. However, there are so many different intertwining parts to building a successful business and to building a community around that business. It's not just about the marketing. So far in this process, we have been talking about the marketing piece, and there's a reason for that. Part of building a business, part of bringing in the right people and making sure that you're getting the right members of your community is focusing on the one or two things that you're really good at, right? You're finding your niche, finding the audience you serve, finding what your offer is, and finding and defining exactly how you're going to show up and help people in the world. But when talking about building your business, there's more to it than just marketing. That is why I regularly bring on experts who talk about not only marketing, but also management, money, and mindset. All of these things, in my mind, work together. They are holistic. Combined, that's what it takes to build a community and build a business that supports that community and a community that supports that business. So, for the question of what comes next in terms of marketing, the thing that comes next, of course, is continuously being in front of your audience, providing value, continuing to build a relationship, making sure people are engaging with you, and a variety of other things that you can do to continue building the community around you. It's not just about whether or not they've finally bought that first product, but how do you continue and connect that conversation? But that's just one part. That's just the marketing piece. How is it that you can continue to provide high value and a great experience for your community members outside of the marketing piece? All right. In a future episode, we'll talk about exactly how to continue building up that marketing piece and how to continue building your community itself. But today, what I want to talk a little bit about is the other parts that really make a successful business and community. And here's why. Oftentimes we get into business because we love what we do, right? I loved the idea of being able to help people with the power of words, reach the right people at the right time with the right messaging. And that is what I help people do. However, there are so many other parts to running a business that I had no clue about. And I struggled. I struggled so much. My first year in business, I probably spent 60 to 70 hours a week trying everything out there, right? I was trying to figure out this, I was trying to figure out that. I didn't know about accounting, I didn't know about taxes, I didn't know about budgeting, I didn't know about pricing, I didn't know about any of it. And I was just trying to muddle my way through. Because in my mind, the only way to be successful was if I did it on my own. And I think this is a really prevailing mindset among the entrepreneurial community and those of us who are community leaders. It's this idea that the only way that we can call ourselves a success story is if we do everything ourselves. And I want to bust that myth down to the ground. It is completely not true. And I will say, as soon as I sought experts, as soon as I started connecting with other people who were in the same boat as me, maybe they were 2 steps ahead of me, maybe they were 1 step behind me, maybe they were 10 steps ahead of me. But as soon as I started joining other communities, asking others who had expertise outside of my own for help, I saw everything change. I started getting more clients. I started closing more projects. I started figuring out all of this marketing bit for myself. And I really saw a change in my business and the way I was showing up, right? It used to be I had this process in my head that everything was a hustle. I was only going to be successful if I was working insane hours. And that's just not sustainable. So as soon as I started working less, concentrating on what was important, and seeking out help from others, I saw massive leaps in success for my business. So you might be wondering, well, that's all well and good, but I listen to this podcast because, there's all of these amazing things out there that you talk about. You get all these really great experts, but I struggle with knowing where to turn, what to do next. What is it that I should be doing? So I have put together an amazing resource and I'm so excited to announce it to you, all of you today. I have been working on this for months. And part of it is because, we all had a lovely wake up call this year. If you are listening to this in the future, I'm talking about the year 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of us saw our businesses completely change. We had to pivot, we had to change, we experienced some chaos, we experienced some uncertainty. There was a lot of confusion. There were so many different things going on in the world. And it was a bit much, right? It was a huge amount of change and a lot of uncertainty. So when I started this podcast, I wanted to be able to provide action steps for people. And the idea was it wasn't just about marketing. It was about what does it take to grow and scale a business and a community. And so I started bringing on experts who could talk about various different things. And so now many of us have been kind of in survival mode, I think, over the last few months. We're just trying to keep a little bit above water. And I want to change that mentality. I want to change and give you action steps to overcome that thought process. And here's how we're going to do it. I have launched a summit. We are going to be hosting the Biz Reset for 2021 summit in mid-January. Now you might be thinking, oh, thank goodness, that's so far away. Or, oh no, it's so far away. Here's the thing. It is a little bit away, but it is going to be an amazing collection of experts who will not only talk about the management, the marketing, the mindset, and the money part of building a business and a community and how to do that, but we're also going to be talking about hitting that reset button. Right? 2020 filled with chaos, filled with uncertainty. Maybe your business soared, maybe your business crashed. I've met people who fall into both categories, but many of us had to pivot or change or overcome some sort of chaos. So I want to help everyone listening. Let's make it so those changes aren't in vain. Let's make those changes long lasting and positive effects on your business. So we're going to be talking about how you can hit the reset button for 2021. All of the things that you need to do to put in place so that you can be successful, leverage the changes and the pivots that you experienced in 2020 and move on into the future for a sustainable business, for a community that's going to support you and that you can support fully and wholly. Because if you're torn in a million different directions, then It's insanely hard to continue to provide the support that your audience needs. There are people out there right now who need your help, even in the middle of everything that's going on. There are people who are looking for your help now more than ever. We've been isolated. We've had changes to our normal routine. We've had disruptions to our lives. There are people out there who need your help, who are looking for the community you're building. And the only way they're going to find you is if you put yourself out there and make sure you have all of the structures in place to really build a solid community and business that will last well into the future. So I want all of you to go ahead and check out and sign up for the waitlist. The summit is going to be completely free. Of course, there will be some opportunities for you to get more one-on-one time with all of the speakers, but the general access pass is completely 100% free because we've all had a little bit of a struggle this year. And in order for you to sign up and get notified about the summit as soon as possible, head on over to theaudienceconverter.com/summit to join the waitlist. Right? Theaudienceconverter.com/summit to join the waitlist. It's going to be so incredibly worth your time because a lot of these experts, they're going to be providing information about how to leverage what you've done so far. It's not just about your marketing, right? It's about having all of the systems and pieces in place, including the mindset and the money, in order for you to really be a success, in order for you to stop worrying about all the different parts of running your business and really focus in on what you do best so you can best serve your audience. So go on to theaudienceconverter.com/summit to join the waitlist. And a little peek behind the curtains, if you will, we'll be having people who are talking about how to create content fast, how to change your mindset when it comes to imposter syndrome. We've got so many amazing speakers coming up, and I will be making announcements and diving a little bit deeper into this in future episodes. But I am incredibly excited to be hosting this summit because I know after all of this uncertainty, I'm looking forward to hitting that reset button too, and I want to help you do the same. So each of these are going to be live interviews, which means you're going to have time to ask questions of the speakers before the next one shows up. These aren't pre-recorded. These aren't presentations full of fluff and high-minded ideals that are really hard to act on. No, each of these is going to be a live interview. You'll have a chance to ask questions, and you're going to leave each and every speaker with an action item, with an action step, with the roadmap, the scavenger hunt of exactly what it takes to grow and scale and expand into 2021 and beyond. So I am super excited because we've been talking about how to get people into your business, and now it's time to talk about how to build out your business. And in a couple of future episodes, we'll talk a little bit more about the marketing piece and how to continue the great conversations and building a wonderful community for your people. But for right now, head on over to theaudienceconverter.com/summit to join the waitlist so that you get first notification when tickets are open for the Biz Reset for 2021 Summit. It's going to be massive. It's going to be changing. It's going to be life-changing, business-changing, mindset-changing. I am so excited about it, in case you can't tell. And in the meantime, I'd love to hear from you. What did you experience in 2020? What were the trials and tribulations you went through? What kind of pivots did you have to make? What kind of changes did you have to make? And what are you looking forward to seeing 2021 and hitting the reset button? What are your goals for 2021 and beyond? I'd love to hear about them. Anyone who writes in, I will be responding back to you. Remember to reach out at contact@theaudienceconverter.com. And if I especially love your feedback and your comment, be sure to drop your business name and your website, and I might give you a shout out in a future episode because I'd like to know more about you. I want to know, what are you looking for in 2021? What topics are you aching to hear about? What do you want to know more about into 2021 and beyond? As a community leader, where can I help you? So do check out theaudienceconverter.com/summit to sign up for the waitlist. And I cannot wait to open the doors to this amazing summit that's really going to change your life, change your business, and change your outlook for the future. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, keep calm and sign up for the summit.
Thanks for listening to the Audience Converter Podcast. For more information and important links about today's show or for access to our website, visit theaudienceconverter.com. Take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.